It's been a historic week for the New York Yankees, not for something they did on the field, but off it. Today, the club introduced Rachel Balkavic as the manager of its affiliate team, the Tampa Tarpons. That's one of the teams in their minor league system. Ms. Balkavic is now the first full-time female manager in affiliated pro baseball.
I don't think you sign your name on the dotted line to do something like this and then say, well, I don't want to be a role model. You know, I just don't subscribe to that. People ask, you know, why are you on social media and why this? And it's like, I want to be a visible idea for young women. I want to be a visible idea for dads that have daughters. You know, I want to be out there. And it's just, I have two jobs, and that's fine.
Rachel Balkavic is one of just a handful of women working in men's sports. She says she was all but promised one particular job a few years ago, but after weeks of waiting, the hiring manager told her something awful, and she turned that into motivation.
He just said, you know, I'm really sorry. I really would like to hire you, but our administration said that we're not going to hire a woman. And he's like, I just want to be honest with you. I know this is like, it's illegal. He's like, I just want to be honest. He said, oh, it gets worse. And I was like, wow, how could this possibly get worse? You just told me that you're discriminating against me. And he's like, well, I called around to all the other teams that I know have open jobs, and they all said the same thing. And then it was real. I was like, okay, this is going to be a bigger hurdle than I thought.
Joining us now is Claire Smith, an assistant professor of journalism at Temple University in Philadelphia. She was the first woman to be inducted into the writers' wing of the Baseball Hall of Fame. Professor Smith, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Joshua. I appreciate it. I appreciate.
First of all, I wonder what your reaction is to this. I beg your pardon, ma'am? Sorry?
I said I appreciate being here with you.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate having you, especially it's in light of the story that we just heard from Rachel Balkavic. I mean, I wonder what your reaction is to that, first of all, just being told flat out, yeah, we got this job, but you're a girl, so, and we all feel the same way. Like, what the hell? Like, you just admitted to committing workplace discrimination. Does that feel like a thing of the past to you, or is that still going on in pro sports and we just don't see it?
It's still going on. It's obvious that it's still going on, whether it's an argument put forth by frustrated women trying to kick down gender discrimination in front of them, whether it's race-based, whether it's African-American men, women, gender-based, these things. It's like taking the issue of the week, and before you know it, it's going to be replaced by another hot button topic. But I want to say first and foremost, this young woman's story is impressive, and it's kind of sad to me in a way, in that so many of the things she went through are reminiscent of what Negro Leaguers went through, the hard conditions she had to study in and put up with when she worked and wasn't allowed in locker rooms. So she was in these dirty, dingy bathrooms and sitting on the floor and sleeping on a mattress that she pulled out of a dumpster. That's grit. That's someone you want on your team. That really is, and I'm so proud of her.
Could you explain for us, just in the time we have, what it means to be the manager of the Tampa Tarpons? Could you just very briefly explain that relationship in terms of its relationship to the Yankees and pro ball?
Well, the Yankees are a team that really, really look inward. If you're on the lowest level minor league team, you could be Derek Jeter and within 5 or 6 years be on the All-Star team as a New York Yankee. They really promote from within. Everybody thinks they've signed free agents, but look at the roster and you'll see how many homegrown Yankees there are. So to be placed on that team, to be drafted by the Yankees or signed out of the Caribbean and Latin America by the Yankees and put on that team, It's no small thing. It really isn't.
Can you
So
talk about
she's
some
going
of the
to
efforts
have,
that are being? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I said, so she's going to have a very important role in shaping not only the careers, but the lives of these young men who are now in her charge.
I know before I have to let you go, I wonder where you see the efforts to diversify gender-wise in pro sports. I mean, we've seen some of it in front of the camera. In July, we had the first MLB game that was called by an entirely female on-air team between the Orioles and the Rays. Who do you think is doing a good job, in the very few seconds we have before we got to go, who do you think is doing a good job of helping to close this gender gap?
I think everybody's chasing the NBA, and I think the NBA has been setting the pace for a while. Baseball is coming forward with its pledge to do better by women, but it's still trying to get out of the 1980s and do better by African American men and Latino players who want to stay in the game. These are areas that, you know, you have to put your finger in all the holes in the dike to be able to say you're doing a great job. So baseball needs to step up in other areas. It took a major step up today, but African American young men in the minor leagues are probably saying, "Well, I want to be a manager too. Where's my mentor?" And maybe Rachel's going to show that she's going to mentor everyone, and I'm sure she will. So this is a major step for everybody.
Claire Smith, I appreciate you making time for us tonight to talk us through this. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.